show you my cross-stitch stand that my husband made for me. It's fully adjustable and it sits on the floor in front of the area where I stitch, which is, we have a couple of sofas down here in our family room. You'll have to excuse the sheet on this one. I usually keep it there because this little gal sheds a little bit. So this is my stitching corner where I sit, have my pattern and my needles and thread, everything there. I have a large lamp, and then this is my stand. It sits on the floor in front of me. It's made out of oak. These parts here are made out of oak, and everything is bolted together with just series of lag bolts. It's fully adjustable, which I'll show you here. If I just, I don't know if you can see it very well. Everything adjusts and moves. This section here is where my pattern, I use a Q-snap frame for most of my work. I really like how it grips the fabric, and he actually made this section with a groove so that the Q-snap will fit in underneath the lip, and then I just tighten this with the leg bolts that are underneath to hold it firmly. And on top here he has countersunk magnets, and that's where I tend to lay my needles when I'm not using them, or my embroidery scissors so they don't fall off. The other nice thing is this here section is adjustable, so I'll work on the front of my frame, and then when I want to tie off or when I need to get at the back of my stitching, this actually flips up, so then I can just, you know, I can get at the back of it very easily, can tie off my threads, and then when I'm done, it just flips back down to where I'm sitting. I did add a little LED light here, which I don't use, but unless I'm upstairs stitching in the living room, once in a while I need a little bit of extra light, but not anything too serious because we have a lot of lighting upstairs naturally. But I tend to stitch down here in front of the television. So yeah, that's my cross stitch stand that is homemade, works very well, and I really like that these arms are so adjustable because when I stitch down here, this seat is actually a lot lower than the sofa upstairs or the chairs out on my deck if I'm outside stitching in the summertime. So I can totally adjust all of this to the correct height. So yeah, if you have any questions about my stand or about my stitching, about how it's put together, my intent is to replace, I'll just get around this other side here, sorry. My intent is to replace these wing nuts that you see here with knobs to make it easier for tightening and loosening the stand, because it's just been difficult to get those. Right now I just have the wing nuts on them, but I will be replacing those, and that's it. So feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, and happy stitching.